131 damage. Amazing. It is a little evil looking, isn't it? Yeah, you don't, like, turn them into some kind of, like, holy version of themselves. You don't purify them. You just straight up use the Saru that you fight. Now, in my recent research, I summon you, ghost of my defeated foe. Yes, exactly. And that's how all magic works in this game, is it's all summons. Whether you like it or you hate it. So you see, Gimard is level 1. Uses 10 MP. Attacks the enemy, very straightforward. To level up your magic, you have to use it repeatedly. And I discovered recently, through a little bit of research, that some homies on GameFAQs found the part of the code and monitored it that governs the experience you get, or rather, that tracks the experience you get when you're leveling up your magic. They couldn't find the specific code that awards experience, so that was just done through trial and error. And what they found was that there are a couple of different methods for gaining experience. For Gimard, you will gain the maximum amount of experience if Gimard kills the enemy. Otherwise, it's variable dependent on how much of their HP it takes down in one single attack. So if you use a low-level Gimard on an enemy that has tons of HP, then you'll barely get any experience. But if you use it on something that just barely survives, or you use it on something that doesn't survive the attack, you'll get the maximum. And each one works differently. Some of them, it doesn't matter whether you kill. You just need to use it over and over. Some of them you actually want to do less damage, because killing them for some reason awards less experience. It's very unintuitive. They don't tell you any of this. All you really need to know is that if you use it a lot, it'll get stronger. So the best method is to spam the summon on chump monsters? Yes. For Gimard, that is absolutely true. Ultimately, you just need to spam magic in order to level it up. So if you ever feel like you're a little bit underpowered for a boss fight, then the best way to grind is to use magic to grind, and just be somewhere where you can heal up nearby and just refresh your mana every time you run out. Speaking of which... Oh no! I got newbie baited. I have a knife and I picked one up. This is so tragic. Alexa, play Despacito. Okay, let's head over to... I swear there's a room somewhere around here where I can heal. Hello, Drake Ghost. Tell me, Drake Ghost, can you survive a Gimard? Yes, you do have to watch the summon every single time. There's no skipping this. Drake Ghost cannot survive a Gimard. And Gimard's magic level has increased. Nice. The new knife is exactly the same as the knife that I bought from the shop. So I wasted my money. You see it shows up in my items here, and in equip. It's actually, there's two knives there. It doesn't list them separately, it just puts a number next to the knife. Here. Separate room. Oh, hey, another door. Obtain star key. Geography of Drake King. I've just remembered I think there's something good in one of these bookcases. But I really want to find this healing spot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! This could be a problem. Theo, I'd like to ask, what do you think of the battle music? Because it is probably the most controversial thing about the game. The most love it or hate it. Ouch. For the record, once you've collected Saru, there is nothing that you get from defeating them further. It doesn't, like, make your magic stronger by absorbing it again. Just, now that I've absorbed it, it's like any other enemy. It is repetitive, yes. To me, it is memorable because of the feeling that it evokes, and obviously my thick nostalgic goggles beyond glasses. See how Gimmerd works on a Gimmerd. But I understand what you're saying, Theo. I love around its beak, it has like a sort of mushroom mycelium look. It's very cool. The textures in this game are very interesting. Star key, star door. This hallway looks a little different. I think we're starting to, yeah, get into some more natural... Castle's really built right into the mountain here. This feels like probably in trouble versus anti-pyretic from Final Fantasy Tactics. You might die, but you might not. I see what you're saying. Although that song doesn't come easily to mind from Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll have to look it up after. I kind of want to run. This feels like big danger. But at the same time, running might get me killed. I'm using a healing leaf. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. Oh, 80 damage! And I'm out of MP. I can't just Gimmerd one out of the way. Whoa! You can use that 2 turns in a row? Are you serious? Thank God I used Spirit. Kinda wanna not attack this thing without using Spirit. Now I'm really scared. Power punch. Out of the suspicion that I'm doing more damage with those knife attacks. Yosha! Yosha! I forgive you for Z fighting, Vaughn's wrist. Small price to pay for the existence of the polygons. Yes! Vaughn, the door to this room is quite strong. If you shut the door tightly, we should be able to rest peacefully in here. Do you want to rest? Hell yes! A wise decision. While you are sleeping, I will stand guard. This is what I was looking for. Vaughn, I tricked you. I apologize for interrupting your dream. There's something I must tell you about the Seru and my powers. That's right, the Seru. They are horrible creatures. But the Seru themselves are not at fault. The mist is responsible for all of this. I have special powers to use against the Seru. I can assimilate with a Seru that the mist has made mad. Special powers of the Seru will combine with my own, making me a powerful weapon. I've already absorbed the abilities of Gimmerd, the fire Seru you have fought. For the record, I have played this and not absorbed a Gimmerd, and of course this cutscene changes. It is not always possible to absorb the abilities of a Seru by fighting it. Nevertheless, let's try to fight as many as we can and hope we absorb its powers. Trisection. And you'll post it in VG Music. Okay, thank you, Theo. You can use the Seru abilities by expending magic points? Mana points? We'll never know. When to use it is up to you. Just remember that MP is limited. Took a nap. MP is recovered. You look so much better now, damn. Tell it like it is, Meta. There's a Firebook 1 in the treasure chest. Maybe that's what I was thinking of all this time. No, I'm sure there's a book here that tells me some arts. Book of Hyper Arts for Meta. Vaughn can now use Tornado Flame. I'm very excited to use Tornado Flame. Research notes. Any human wearing a Seru ceases to be human in the mist, but because of some power, a person possessed by a crazed Seru also ceases to age. That means a person wearing a Seru could live for 100, 1,000 years? Forever! But is immortality worth giving up being human? That I do not know. I must report this to King Drake at once. Vaughn returned to the bookshelf. In that interview that I linked in the Legaia channel, the scriptwriter notes that he wanted, despite the game being called Legend of Legaia in the West, he wanted the game to feel like everything was happening now. It wasn't a prophecy, there was no legend. You learn about events as the player because they are happening, not because they're just some innate knowledge that the world has. And I think that's a really good concept to strive for. The idea that the story is happening, and so you can feel like you're a part of it. From its clothes, the Seru seems to have been one of the royal family. Vaughn, I have a feeling the Seru is King Drake. Look, there's a small key around its neck. That must be the key to the water gate. That being the little dam that we passed on the way in. A letter in the treasure chest says, "To the human traveler that finds this." Do you wish to read it? Yes. I am Drake the Third, King of Drake. I know not who will read this letter, but anyone who makes it through the mist must have powers greater than the mist. No doubt you have seen the Seru monsters in this castle's dungeons. Those monsters are in fact my dear retainers and the people of my kingdom. When the mist approached, we tried many ways to drive it back. We even prayed at the Genesis tree of Mount Rikaroa to the north. Legend says the tree has the power to save the human race. In the end, we decided to lock ourselves in the dungeon and we're surrendering to the mist. It's going too fast. As Seru monsters, we should survive on Drakewater until the day the mist goes away. We locked ourselves in the dungeon so the Seru madness would not force us to harm anyone. So, Traveler, I ask you to drive away the mist, as we were powerless to do so. You are our only hope for the future, the hope that sustains us. It's a little too fast to read out loud. Vaughn put back the letter. Yes, a lot of JRPGs do have a prophecy take, a legend, a recurring evil, a cyclical thing. And as I understand it, that is how a lot of Japanese mythology is written. A lot of Japanese history and philosophy and religion comes from these ideas of cycles, of death and rebirth, of history repeating itself. And so I understand why a scriptwriter that wanted to innovate would move away from that and go for something else. This must be the water. Yeah. He took the water key. But the mountain key I can take. Can't do nothing with the throne. Alright. I'm gonna check on the bookshelves real quick. And then I'll move on to the next section. But in the meantime, let's gimmer it up. Gimmered. Man, that feels good. Oh, right, yeah, I got Tornado Flame. Let's do it. Hell yeah. I got the AP to do it. Let's do it again. Tornado Flame! I mentioned it a few days ago, but this was my childhood game, so little me on the playground running around going, Tornado Flame! Punching the air. I still think it's super cool. Oh. Hello. Let's get some defense going. Whoops. Take out the Drake Ghost with the Gimmer. Yeah! Gimmer leveled up again. So I think the next time we use Gimmered, we'll have a nice little bonus. So with Hyper Arts, as opposed to... I think these are just called arts, actually, when they're not the Hyper Arts. But Tornado Flame is a Hyper Art, and you'll see that all the directions are lit up in yellow. And what that means is... the way that it chains together with things is a little different. You can't really lead into a Hyper Art, but you can go after it. So I can do right, left, right, left, and I think that'll give me a Hyper Elbow afterwards. But there's nothing I can do to chain a different art into a Hyper Art. You kind of have to start with the Hyper Art. His elbow Z fighting is always going to be funny to me now. Just because I'd successfully gotten rid of it, but at the price of other clipping issues. Right, I was going to check bookshelves. Digging this game's combat, it's just so fun. It is, especially... I just have Vaughn at the moment, but once you get the full party, then it really comes into its own. Get out of here, Drake Ghost. Magic effect. Target's attack down 5%. You notice my damage is going up too. Before I was doing 200, now I'm up to 253 on the Straight Ghost. So it is notably worthwhile if you can level up your magic to do so. You'll notice that these hyper arts are like much more effective than any other art I could be doing. But they cost a lot of AP. Nice. Leveling up. Feeling a little stronger. I'm sure it was very deliberate to make the first Sarah you encounter be the same element as your primary protagonist. You can see on the status screen that Vaughn's attribute is fire underneath his level there in the bottom left. And as a result of that, fire magic is extra good on Vaughn. The bonus effects I don't think are changed at all, it's just the damage. And there are elements that he is weak with as well. So water he will not do nearly as much damage with as the other characters. And so no matter what, because of that incentive to have different characters using different magic, the characters will feel different to play. You could have everyone just spam fire magic all the time, but there's no real reason to do so. Whereas there is a slightly soiled diary. There is a reason to diversify your magic. Harvest Month, Day 2. Harvest Festival isn't far, I can't wait, but King Drake seems uneasy. A messenger from the north said the mist has covered Jeremy. King Drake is pale. Strange building has been built in the valley to the northeast. Soldiers sent by King Drake failed to return. A curfew has been declared. The royal scientists are investigating. Hope they find a solution. The mist has appeared in Drake Kingdom. The eastern plain is covered. From the watchtower, the mist seems to be coming from the building in the valley. King Drake has forbidden the use of serum. Harvest Festival cancelled! Oh no. That's understandable. Have a nice day. I can't believe the king's order, but we are compelled to obey. Obeying is my duty. The rest is blurred and ineligible. Itchy tasty. Mom, where I miss you, whoa. If you're not aware, those last gibberish things that I said are from Resident Evil. Notes that you find of people turning into infected creatures. Save my MP for when I really need it. Glad I used Spirit. Nice! Strong enough now that I can take out a Drake Ghost without using magic in a single turn. Well, a single turn with Spirit. But it counts. Damn, 2 hours already. Time flies when you're having fun. This game does have a limit on the timer. Once you hit 99 hours and 59 minutes, it just stops keeping track. Which isn't that long in the grand scheme of things. If you grind for completionist's sake, you will easily... Geography? No. No geography for me. You will easily pass 100 hours if you try to truly complete everything in the game. But for a normal playthrough, I wouldn't be surprised if you fell well short of that. never sunk 100 hours or more into a JRPG, and you think that makes you weird. I wouldn't say weird. Just speaks to a different gamer personality, I should say. The things that motivate you are different from those who would sink 100 hours into a JRPG. I'm definitely the kind of person that, like, my first playthrough of Persona 5 took, I believe, 250 hours? And it's not that the game takes 250 hours to complete, it's that I have the kind of personality, I have the kind of drive when I play video games that I want to spend all that time in the game. And there's room in a JRPG often to devote all that time. When there's side content, especially. You want to see the plot unfold, Theo. Well, we were just talking the other day about Yakuza and how you want to do everything other than the plot. Damn, 223, that's really good. Getting dire on HP here. How is Raw 20 flying? Nice. Yakuza's plot is secondary and I know it? Yeah, I do. And Final Fantasy games, the plot is the focus, for sure. Yeah, Final Fantasy games, I wouldn't say they railroad you, but there's not nearly as much encouragement to stray from the beaten path. Trade Castle's water. Is there another bookshelf in here? Am I crazy? Were there no valuable books in this building? Gorgeous. Okay, I think I was wrong. There's no... What I was thinking I would find was a book that told me how to do certain martial arts. But I must have been thinking of a different part of the game. Let's hit the bed one more time.
Hello.
Hello. Just so you know, I am recording the screen and my voice right now, and unfortunately that means that if you're in the Discord call and speaking, you will be recorded in the video as well. So,
Understood.
I'm comfortable with that, but whether you're comfortable with that is another question.
No, I'm absolutely more than comfortable with that.
Okay. Yeah, so it's going to be going into a YouTube video, assuming that I can trim it down enough. Speaking of which,
Okay.
I'm going to make another break right here in the recording.